Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to yet another video. It is Codebreaker Gaming back with another Tekken 8 character customization video. And this video is sure to be a banger, especially to those of you who are Yoshimitsu mains and fans of the popular 90s and early 2000s video game series entitled Metal Gear Solid. In today's Tekken 8 character customization video, we're going to be recreating a character from Metal Gear Solid 1, the original, a character who is legendary, iconic in the series. We're creating none other than the cyborg ninja known as Gray Fox from Metal Gear Solid 1. So without any further delay, let's jump into the requirements needed to recreate Gray Fox here in Tekken 8. For starters, you want to have a character selected by the name of Yoshimitsu. As you can see here, pictured on screen, he is a Majin ninja. And yes, he does look cybernetic. He is not, though. I can assure you he is human underneath there. But you guys aren't worried about Yoshimitsu. You're here because you want Gray Fox. So starting out at the top menu where it says close, okay? We want to come down to this first menu here. It's entitled Head. We will not be using anything there. Now under full face, this is where things got a little dicey originally, because under full face you see his Tekken 8 style for player 1 is his default, okay? Now originally I was kind of trying to figure out like how I was going to do this until I actually came into the menu and I noticed he has a no mask option. That is what we're going to be picking for this customization. It looks like such. That is the no mask option for Yoshimitsu. And to be honest with you, for those of you who know how Gray Fox looks, you should already see this customization coming together beautifully just with the switch of no mask. Now that we have no mask selected, we're going to come on down to this next menu under glasses. We're not using anything underneath the glasses option. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Now under entire body, you see we have the Tekken 8 style for player 1, which is his default. We're going to be selecting this option right here. It is called the cyber suit. Now, I need to make you aware that in order to get the cyber suit, this is not unlocked through character progression. It is not unlocked through story progression. It isn't even unlocked through the season passes. The only way to acquire the cyber suit is to purchase it using Tekken coins in the Tekken shop. It does cost 400 Tekken coins, which is the equivalent to $4.99 USD. And you have to be careful once again because there are two cyber suit bundles. Bundle A gives every male character the cyber suit, and bundle B will provide every female character with the cyber suit. So when purchasing the cyber suit for this customization, you want to make sure you select the bundle that suits all of the male characters. Now that I've made that clear, you want to go ahead and select the cyber suit, and it looks like such. Alright, and that is the cyber suit, and believe it or not, most of the customization is practically done. Now that you have the cyber suit selected, you want to press triangle, and we're going to begin to make some color changes here. Alright, so for color palette number 1, let's take a look at what it actually is by turning it a different color. Now it's yellow here, so based on the shoulder pads and the siding along his pants, we want to make color palette number 1. You can do orange if you like, because you see it does have that metallic appearance. I like bronze. This is the correct color that you want to be using here. This copper color is what you want to call it. So we'll go ahead and select that for color palette number 1. Looks like such. Right, now moving along to color palette number 2, that is in navy, so we want to change it to a different color to see what it is. That is the rest of the suit, and we are absolutely not going to touch color palette number 2. We are going to leave that navy. Let's take a look at the royal. Yeah, we're going to leave that navy for sure. Now moving along to color palette number 3, I need to see what that exactly is. Color palette number 3 represents his boots as well as his gloves, and we are going to change that white, pure white. And that looks like this. And once selected, you'll see how that very closely matches the shade of his face, or mask, should I say. Now, color palette number 4 is not going to pose any issues for the purposes of this video. It originally did when I was trying to figure out what color I wanted to change this using the cyber suit for other customizations, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to change color palette number 4, which represents the powder blue neon light color in the cyber suit. We're going to change that to black. Looks like such, and it completely removed any highlighted neon light look, and I absolutely love it. Okay, now moving along to color palette number 5, which is the final color palette with the cyber suit. There are only 5 palettes. We're going to change color palette number 5, which represents, let's see, it represents the bands that hold his shoulder plates and the side plates along his pants. I guess it's the it holds them in place. We're gonna make that orange. Okay, now you could also make it copper in color so that it's more uniform, but when you make it orange, it does bring a little bit of flair to the costume, and it still matches the look that we're going for. And we're giving him a spin around so you can kind of see what he looks like. So for color palette number 5, we're gonna make that orange. And that is the last color palette that we'll be changing for Gray Fox. All right. One more spin. And now that that's done, we'll press circle to get back to the top menu here. We're not going to change or equip anything from the upper body menu. Doing so would erase the entire body costume that we have on. The same thing applies for the lower body. If we select anything from upper, lower, or shoes, it will change the entire body costume that we have currently equipped for Yoshimitsu. Now we come on down to unique. Okay, now every character has something that is unique to them. For Yoshimitsu, it is his sword. So we have the Cursed Blade Yoshimitsu by default. That's what he's currently holding. And this is to you guys' own discernment. You can use whatever sword you like. We also have the Cursed Blade from Tekken 7. We have the Cursed Blade Vajra. And we have the Ancient Metal. Okay. And we have this one called Yoshimitsu Blade 01. I was unable to I'm not even sure how we get that. I think it's probably one that you have to purchase. And because I'm not a Yoshimitsu main, I did not make that purchase. So the sword that I liked best is the Cursed Blade Yoshimitsu from Tekken 7. Let's take a look at it. Looks like such. Okay. Now, you see where the clear difference is the length of the hilt of the sword. And oh man, it almost makes me want to keep the default sword because the length of the handle or the hilt is actually better. It is actually better. So I tell you what I'm going to do here. I think I'm actually going to... Oh, definitely not. We're definitely not using that one. And the Ancient Metal either. So yeah, we're actually going to keep the Cursed Yoshimitsu Blade. And now that we have that equipped, we'll go ahead and push triangle here. And this one has, wow, it has 8 color palettes. That's unreal to me. I'll tell you what, let's take a look at color palette number 1. That is the actual blade itself. I think that is perfect, the color that it is. Color palette number 2 is the case. And for the case, I think I'm actually going to keep that, the gray that they have, default. Color palette number 3 represents the case on his back. Color palette number 4 must be the hilt. Yeah, It's the hilt of the sword on his hip. And they have it as like a weird color. We'll keep it. We're not going to change any of this. How about that? We'll just keep everything as is. Default color scheme, default cursed blade of Yoshimitsu. That'll be the sword that I'm choosing. You guys can use whichever sword you prefer. I know the cursed blade from Tekken 7 also was nice, but I'm choosing to keep the default because of the length of the hilt. Makes more sense to me. Okay. And now that we have that selected, there's one more thing I want to take a look at. Under full face, we do not have the option of altering any colors on the full face, unfortunately. Okay. And now that we have that done, we're going to back out to the top menu. We're going to come down to accessory. Okay. And we have one final thing that we need to do. Now we're going to come in here to accessory number 1. And for accessory number 1, we're going to use this rose right here. And I know you guys are probably trying to figure out how this is going to work. Trust me. Once you select the rose, it appears there at the top of his head. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come on down to move up and down. We want to bring that down to -20, like such. Okay, as far down as it can go. We're going to leave left and right at 0. Now front to back, we're going to move that to a +11, and that brings it out here. As you can see, you can probably even get away with a +10, just so it's not protruding too much. And not 9. 9 will not work because you see some of the mass. It's got to be 10. Okay. We're going to leave rotate up or down at 0, rotate left or right at 0, and tilt is going to remain at 0. We're going to come back up to the top where it says overall size, and we want that to be 60, not 100, and that will actually shrink the size of the rose. While 60 is quite small. Actually, let's bring this out to, there we go. Okay, so correction. Move back to front. We want that to be at a +11. Okay. +11. And overall size, we can zoom in some, just so we can get a real good look at what to expect this to look like. Realistically, you could go 50 here. 60 is pretty big. 55. You can bring it down to 50, but if we bring it down to 50, we will have to pull it out a little bit more. So it seems like the smaller you make it, the further out you have to bring it. Yeah, cause see, it doesn't look right. It looks a little sunken in there. So yeah, so move front and back, we want that at +12. Move up and down, you want that as a -20, and the overall size, you want that at 50. Okay. And once you have that selected, you want to go ahead and confirm it, and then you want to push triangle, and we can alter the color. So for color, it has 2 color palettes. Ironically, color palette number 1, we'll make that a nice pretty red. We'll go with the true red, or the brighter of the 2 reds. And color palette number 2, I have absolutely no idea what is green, but just to play things safe, we'll make it the same color, red. Okay. And now that you've done that, we'll push circle. We'll back on out of here. And we'll take a look at the other accessories very quickly. There's nothing else here that we're going to make use of. Now the ninja katana and the shinobi short blade, we're not going to bother using those because he already has a case, a sword case, sheath on his back, as well as one on his hip. So it's really pointless in using a second accessory that's only going to do the same thing. So we're going to push circle, we're going to back out of there, And now we'll come on down to the other menu here. And at the character panels, we have 5 to choose from. We have the Tekken 8 style. This is the default. We have the Yoshimitsu illustration by Juni. It's similar to the default, just a little bit more animated. We have the Yoshimitsu illustration by JB style. We have the Yoshimitsu illustration by Wolf Marker. Now, Wolf Marker is absolutely my favorite illustrator when it comes to these character panels. But then we also have this one here, Yoshimitsu 2, the second illustration by Wolf Marker. That is the one I am going to choose. You guys can use whichever illustration you see fit. Now, if you're digging Yoshimitsu 2 illustration by Wolf Marker, you need to have the current season pass that came out shortly after the release of the second DLC fighter, Lydia. Okay, and this is one of the rewards for a certain level in that particular season pass. I can't recall. I completed the season pass in like 4 days, but I do remember this unlocked once I reached a certain level of the season pass. So now that you have your character panel selected, we'll back out and we'll come on down to the aura. Now, because Gray Fox is a cybernetic ninja, in the Metal Gear Solid game, he was once a human soldier, and his injuries subsided, and they decided to save him as much as they could, and they came up with this cyborg. Now, in the game, for those of you who have played it, there are certain portions of the game where he malfunctions a little bit, and he keeps screaming to you, "Hurt me more." Okay, so to kind of recreate the malfunctioning effect of the cyborg ninja, I'm going to use and suggest that you use one of these lightning auras. Now, you could use the lightning aura blue, and that'll look like this, where it kind of gives the effect of electricity surging through his body. I actually prefer the lightning aura in white, as it looks like this, and I think that is pretty dope there. So for those of you wishing to use an aura, I highly encourage you to pick either the lightning aura blue or the lightning aura white. Now, for the purposes of this customization video, I'm going with the white as I have selected, and it looks like such. We'll give him a spin around, and this is dope. This is dope. Really making me reminisce on my teen years. All right, now we'll come on down to the hit effect. This is not a huge deal. You can use whichever hit effect is at your discernment. For me personally, I am going to use his default type B. Okay, we got enough blue, so I'm going to use his default type B. Please be mindful that every character in the game has a different default A through D. They're all different for each character. Now, once you get down to the chains and everything below the default, that's when everybody is kind of uniform, but everybody has a different default style. I'm going to use default type B. It has a green effect to it. Okay, you guys can use whichever one you see fit. Now we're going to come on down here to the model viewer, and the first thing I like to do is change the background to background number 2. That's the dark background. It really makes the customization pop so much more. We'll give him a spin around. On that dark screen, you get to see the white chain lightning effect. Really good. You get to see everything. This is Gray Fox. This is the cyborg ninja from Metal Gear Solid 1. This customization is so on par. So on par. Okay? We can come down here to pose, change his pose. We'll go with pose number 2. It's not a big deal. That's what he looks like. He's fight ready. Okay? And finally, we'll come to the top option, which is the shoot of the thumbnail. Now, you can use the right stick to turn your character. Okay? I want him to face this way. You can press R2 to zoom in. You can push the touchpad and use the left stick to change, to move the frame. And finally, you can push the X button to take your screenshot. I'm going to take mine here. and this will be the customization slot thumbnail that appears when you're at the character select screen and you decide to use a custom outfit. All right, I'm going to push yes to confirm this. And now that that's done, we'll push circle 2 times. We'll come on back to the menu here, and ladies and gentlemen, if you have followed the steps that I've provided to you in this Tekken 8 character customization video, you have successfully recreated the cyborg ninja known as Gray Fox from Metal Gear Solid 1 here in Tekken 8. This is a true treat to any Tekken players who main Yoshimitsu. I can guarantee you when you step into that ranked session and you're going up against an opponent who had the pleasure of playing the Metal Gear Solid games in the early 90s, they are going to know immediately who this customization is, and they are going to fall in love with it. Alright, we'll spin him around one more time in his fight pose, and this is an awesome customization. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Codebreaker Gaming. I want to thank you guys for joining me for this Tekken 8 character customization video. If you enjoyed this video and this customization, I need you guys to do me a favor and tap the like button on this video. I need you to drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know how dope of a customization this is. You can also feel free to comment any other character customizations you would like to see me bring to Tekken 8. I have a ton of other customization videos here on my channel, and I have a ton more to come as new customization pieces become available through future season passes. Alright, YouTube thinks that you guys should view the video located in your lower right hand corner or the video in your upper left hand corner if you enjoyed this video, and the entire Tekken 8 character customization video playlist can be found in your lower left hand corner. Once again, this is Codebreaker Gaming, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.